All right, welcome back, guys, to another. I guess it's a mock season. So mock 2.0. This time we are swapping. I'll be doing the pick one, and Marcus will be doing. Oh, I guess I'll do odds. Marcus will be evens. We'll just do a first round again. Probably the draft's what, like the 23rd, so 14,
Yeah,
21, 19 days away. So
yeah, it's coming up.
probably the 15th is my guess. We'll do an episode prior, which kind of might include like our last like official mock, and then maybe like dive a little bit deeper into um, picks that we'd like to see play. You know, like our favorite teams get at certain spots, or position, maybe not maybe specific players, but positions we'd like to see them grab, and then just talk about that. That episode we will go over all free agency shit that's happened, so we'll kind of pop through that really quick too, because that's a long list of shit that's gone on. Just refreshers if people forgot, and then we'll do an episode the week after the draft, recapping the draft. We also will be live streaming the draft, so come chill with us during that. We've had a blast doing it the last couple of years. Irish car bombs and drinking a fuck ton of alcohol. This year won't go as long just because of the new round thing, but some things have changed. I think at least in terms of like what I think some teams might do. I don't know about Marcus on how he feels, but we can get started here. So big news: Raiders signed Kirk Cousins, so they don't need a quarterback anymore. So you know what that means? They're still drafting Mendoza.
They're gonna pair Jeremiah Love.
Dude, that would be okay. They wouldn't draft Jeremiah Love, but imagine if
I
they
know
like
the
drafted like
Arvell Reese.
Carnell Tate. Like they take a wide receiver one overall because they're like, who's Kirk Cousins gonna throw the ball to besides Brock Bowers? Um, no, they're still gonna take Mendoza. I think it's a smart move. I've always been a guy that thinks these, even though you're drafted super high, you still need the time to develop. You need an older veteran guy to, you know, take insights from. Um, and Kirk gives you that. And it's not like Kirk's. It says a 5 year deal, but really it's only like a 1 year deal because everything else is like a team option, which the man somehow continues to just get guaranteed money. His agent is stellar, so I still think the Raiders take Mendoza, and it also gives Kirk and him a chance to compete for that starting spot. And let's say 6 to 8 weeks in, and Kirk's just not doing it for you. That's when you can bring him in. But I think there's no way they don't. And I know he met with them or is meeting with them here soon. So I don't think they'd go any other route at this point. I think Mendoza's probably the number one pick unless some insider hears something. But I don't think
I
the
think
Raiders should.
Mendoza's number one overall pick
I
as
don't think they
well.
should do it. I think they should really go after that defense because they need the help. You got Kirk. You can wait, whatever. But they'll take Mendoza. So the Jets are on the board at number two.
Do we even need to sit here and act like it's gonna be anyone besides Arvell Reese?
I mean,
Like,
David.
come on.
It could be David Bailey. So
I would
Arvell.
say Arvell Reese is to me the most talented defensive player in this draft. He's a dominant player. Let's give Arvell Reese and let's quit overthinking it here.
Dylan said, "Chug the thing, Marcus. Get this thing going."
Oh fuck,
That's for
dude.
draft night. All right, that's draft night. All right, so Arvell Reese
Tell
from the
Dylan
Jets.
I know he can jump in here and watch it with us or come join us.
Yeah, Dylan,
Because Cardinals are coming up.
you could
Who are the
join.
Cardinals taking?
Cardinals, they're they're like, all right, we're gonna wait a year, and then we're gonna go draft a quarterback in next year's draft class. So what do? You go get a guy that's gonna be a key component to that quarterback play, and you're gonna go draft. I think one of the best uh, overall tackles that will play tackle probably. They're gonna go draft Francis Mogoa. Mogoa. I thought about this. Um, they could go defense. That helps. But if you've got 2 1 years, you know, Brissett and Minshew to kind of compete for the quarterback this year. You draft a tackle that gets a year under his belt, and then you draft your quarterback next year, most likely. Get a guy that's not a rookie, not have some young guy, and has some experience under his belt to protect you. So I think they go offensive tackle and then worry about defense as the draft goes on.
Yeah. I mean, Cardinals have a lot of holes to fill. They can go a lot of different ways, in my
Yeah, I
opinion.
mean, if they went David Bailey or like Sonny Styles for defense, Ruben Bain even, I wouldn't be surprised by it. But I think long term, you want to protect that quarterback that you're going to probably try to get next year. You could draft a quarterback later in the draft, most likely not going to, with Brissett and Minshew, but get a guy with some experience under his belt for next year, protecting that potential new younger quarterback.
Hmm.
The Tennessee Titans.
Another team that can go a lot of ways, a lot of holes to fill. Defense sucks. Offense is up and coming. We'll see how it is. They could use a receiver. They could use just a lot of different positions, but last mock we let them drop. I really want to do Jeremiah Love right here, but I think that he might go next pick. He might go top 5, or I think he'll go top 10 this draft. So let's do David Bailey out of Texas Tech. Give him a
David
stud pass
Bailey.
rusher.
Yeah, I think with that defense being as vulnerable as it was last year, I again Jeremiah Love, generational talent, gonna help whatever offense he goes to. I just don't see them taking a running back that high with what they currently have at running back, which is working in a sense. Like it's doable. They're both pretty decent
Yeah,
guys. Um,
it's good
Go get somebody that
enough.
can, gonna be on your defensive front for at least 5 years minimum. So unless you trade him, but yeah, I think David Bailey there. And like you said, pick 5, the Giants. I don't see Jeremiah Love going past the Giants. And realistically, like it fits.
If
They
if he does, there's no way he gets past the Commanders.
Yeah, they're he Jeremiah Love's gonna go to the Giants.
The talent's too good.
Yeah, too good. You have young Jackson Dart. You have the young Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterboo who got hurt. So you're gonna go and get a guy that's gonna take some way more pressure off of your quarterback, and your defense is already really good. And like, unless you want to draft maybe Cardinal Tate for another pass catcher, defensively you really don't need any player. I think Caleb Downs could go here, but like your front line's good. If they draft an edge or linebacker, then you think they're going to be able to move Thibodeau. But I think Jeremiah Love at this spot just makes sense to make that offense better. Jackson Dart's coming into year 2, and this is going to allow him to, that's going to be a scary offense for the next 3 to 5 years, with Neighbors, Love, and Dart at the helm, and then you have Likely for the next couple of years at tight end too.
I was watching a video. I've obviously deep dived more into draft class and stuff like that, just because it's getting closer and closer, and there's a lot to look at. I'm a lot higher on Cardinal Tate than I thought I would be, but the dude, I mean, I've seen he has some crazy highlights in his Ohio State uh, wide receiver, and they always tend to work out. Besides Marvin Harrison Jr., don't know why,
Which
but
he hasn't.
he's
He's not a bust yet in terms, like
no,
not
but he's
bust, but
trending that
yeah,
way
yeah.
though.
It's been rough. It's been rough.
For someone that's, we're talking about the best wide receiver prospect coming in the draft since, fuck, I don't know, Julio Jones, like, and for Marv to play that way. But I think Cardinal Tate to the Browns makes sense. Give Sanders someone to throw to, or if they decide to come back, I think the Browns have a couple picks in the first round,
Yeah,
don't
they
they?
have the pick 24, so they'll come back.
So they could easily snag like a Ty Simpson if they wanted to go that route,
Yeah,
or something else. So I think
or
Cardinal Tate has generational ball skills. He can track it. He's good at going up and getting it. You know, Similar to a guy that plays in the same division for the Bengals. Everyone always says so.
yeah. I if you, I, It's to the point where you have 2 picks in the first round. Do you take potentially in terms of everything that's going on with off-field issues, on-field issues, health, whatever, the best wide receiver that hasn't had any of that, or do you take potentially, you maybe overdraft in terms of pick number 6, a tackle to protect Sanders, or do you get him a guy that you could throw, help him out in the pass game? Because at pick
Mhm.
24, you're going to be able to go and basically, I would say, do the same thing, right? Pick 24, you could go and potentially snag a wide receiver, or there's going to be a couple tackles in that area, offensive linemen that you could go and snag. So it's kind of what the Browns versus pick, vice versa, whatever they prefer. I think taking Carnell Tate here is pretty solid for him. It just shows that they, at least with this pick, shows that they are gonna move forward with Sanders. Um, with it, I mean, Deshaun Watson could even come back and play still too. So you you have Watson on that roster still, and get him an actual legit wide receiver to throw to, and then again, that tight end to Harold Finn and Jr. Man, that's
Mhm.
that's going to take some open up some pressure for him, and he's going to have, I think he's going to have one hell of a year with
That
that.
might be the steal of last year's draft class, to be honest.
Yeah, and I got him in a dynasty league, and he's been the steal of steal of that. Uh,
Yeah.
Washington Commanders have pick number 7. Um, if the Giants don't take Downs, he's still gonna. I think Downs is gonna go to an NFC East team, either the Giants or the Commanders. They need some help at safety. And Caleb Downs, you could argue, is the overall best player in this draft. Um, so it's, top 10, you kind of like, all right, let's fill in positions, but at the same time, it's like you almost take the best available that you like, even if you don't really truly need it as much, I guess, too. Um, and it's not that hard of a pick. Like you could go edge rusher with Ruben Bain, or go down and like I think there's a fall off between Keldrick Falk and some of these other guys, but I think in terms of positional value, I think Caleb Downs is worth more than Ruben Bain for the Commanders.
So you can do a couple different, go a couple different areas with or not the Commanders, the Saints. Um, I don't hate Jordan Tyson there. That'd be very interesting. Um, you could go Ruben Bain, which is super talented out of Miami, but I'm kind of leaning towards them going and grabbing a corner. They got Kool-Aid McKinstry last year. They lost what's his face a couple years ago. Their secondary's kind of been not great. I think you go in and take Mansour Delaney from LSU.
That's actually I'm actually kind of shocked to see that. I didn't I think he would be fallen out of the top 10 or pretty damn close to it, but I do see that. I do
He's
understand
a
it.
good player though. He's a
And
really good player.
in a division where you got
A
Ibuka,
lot of wide receiver
Godwin,
talent.
yeah, Tet now, get those DBs that are gonna protect, and I think that would actually work really good too, because guess where he stays? In Louisiana.
And yeah,
So very close to home. I do like that. Chiefs are up next. This is the first time I think many have seen the Chiefs in a top 10 pick in a very long time. Not used to this, so this is where the rich get a little bit richer. Uh, I'm going a route that I think people probably have thought about, but don't think it would happen. Um, and I know they have a lot of defensive pieces that you need to fill, but I think they go and draft Kenyon Sadiq.
Sadiq again.
Yeah, it. I know you signed Travis Kelsey to a 3-year deal. He's getting older. He's not getting that. He's not as productive. He's still kind of, he's been decent the last 2 years, but he's getting older. And who's to say that he fills out those 3 years? And Sadiq can line up anywhere for you
You're
outside of,
loving the Sadiq train, dude. I changed your
dude.
mind on that for sure.
Out of all the wide receivers, you got Rasheed Rice, you got Xavier Worthy, but this just adds that extra element where you could have him, Kelsey, Rasheed Rice, Xavier Worthy all on the field at one time, and it's like, how do you guard this? Patrick Mahomes hopefully can come. I mean, Justin Fields is probably going to start the season at quarterback, I would assume. So then you spread that offense out, allow him to use his legs too, and
Hmm.
that's going to be scary. Then you get Patty Mahomes back, being able to sling the ball. That Chiefs offense is going to be able to put up a lot of points. they're
Yeah.
going to have to go and defensively upgrade because right now, if they draft Sadiq this high, you're looking at the Bengals high offensive volume, but their defense is not gonna um, be stopping much, at least with what they currently have.
Yeah. Uh, Bengals. I mean, they've needed. Can you scroll all the way up though
Oh yes, I
on your
can.
screen? Because I have to see it through there. Bengals lost Hendrickson. Um, Defense was ass again, like it always is. I think that what the Bengals are going to do is go ahead and take Reuben Bain. If Reuben Bain falls to them at 10, I think they will be ecstatic to get such a studly pass rusher to fill in on that defense. I mean, it's a draft full of good defensive players, and I think that's what they need. They need to quit fucking adding to their offense because if their offense can't win games, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do anymore. So
Yeah, no,
build that defense, go back to a Super Bowl.
I agree. Especially with you have all that offensive talent. It's like, all right,
Use it.
time to use it, and then back you up so you're not having to put up 30 points every week to even potentially win a game. I mean, think about all those games they put up a fuck ton of points and lost because their defense. Yeah, Ruben Bain falling this low, I wouldn't be shocked to see it just because of some of the size and stuff, but gonna be a dog, and they definitely need it replaced. Dolphins, they'll have 2 first round picks. They need. I think the most important position that they need is a wide receiver, and I think they're going to be able to look past the either look past some issues with some players, and I think they're going to go and draft Jordan Tyson.
Yeah,
Injury issue, but I think they'll be able to live with that and hope that he stays healthy and be their number one. Which right now at quarterback, kind of needs some help.
yeah. I just don't see him passing the Cowboys realistically. Give me Jeremiah Love. Yeah, no, I'm serious.
I already took Jeremiah
Like,
Love to the Giants.
oh, you did?
Yeah, to the Giants.
Oh, fuck! I didn't think you took him.
Yes.
Damn it! Damn it!
Oh man,
Okay.
you
Well,
silly,
fuck me.
you silly
Give
goose.
me, give me Sonny Styles, best
Some
linebacker in the draft.
somebody's drunk already, guys. Sonny Styles.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
best
this.
interior linebacker in the draft.
Yeah, and
Cowboys need help on defense still. Offense was humming. Really, Dak probably played some of the best ball he did in his career last year. So
yeah, no, I would agree.
just just re-signed Javonte Williams to like a 3 or 4 year deal. I mean, I think that's the route they'll go. They'll go somewhere defensively.
No, I think both picks. I could see them going defensively, and it doesn't even come close to why they wouldn't. Um,
No,
you, you you need to. You're like just like the kind of like the Bengals, kind of like their offense is very powerful, and now you need a team now you need to build around that. That's gonna give you a chance to actually compete, and not have to score 40 points every night to win or every game. The Rams. So they definitely need offensive line help. You could draft a receiver with Devontae Adams not getting any younger. I think
well, and
they.
Puka, dude, Puka
Oh
going
yeah,
crazy.
Puka. What's going on there? I'd really, I could really see a Makai Lemon being drafted here, just because keep him in California. Like the hometown stuff. Keep them located close to where they went to college. Sometimes, um, the Puka rehab stuff. Who knows how he bounces back after this? I wouldn't think it would be a major fall off, but you never know, mentally and everything like that. And again, Devontae's not getting any older, but I think long term, you need to find a guy that's going to be able to protect um, your
future quarterback,
your
whoever the
future
fuck it
quarterback,
is. Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, not getting any younger. You're gonna have a guy next, probably after this year. Um, right now I'm looking at between Lomu and Monroe Freeling. I like Freeling more, just based off the tape, so I'm gonna take Freeling here for the Rams, and they're gonna get their next guy to protect Stafford, and then their quarterback of the future whenever that comes into play.
Nice. Oh goodness.
The Ravens.
Ravens in a weird position. They're another team kind of like the Chiefs that you don't see this low. They've been really consistently good. Top 20 to pick 30 for years and years and years.
Yep.
They go a couple routes. It's not a lot of good routes. Defensively, I think they're really, really solid. I think their help that they would need is on offense. They could use a corner. They could use a defensive tackle. But I think it's just too hot not to do it. Outside of gosh, why can't not Xavier Worthy? What's his name? Number 4. I can't
Zay
think of his name.
Flowers.
Zay Flowers. They don't really have a lot of help. It's not really a big receiver for them, but it would be another dynamic player. Give me Makai Lemon there at 14.
Be a pretty fun offense to watch.
Very explosive.
Yeah. No, I could see that. Just give you got your quarterback right. Give him another guy to throw the ball to. I think that's in. I think every Ravens fan knows, and every probably NFL fan feels is that's what they've really been lacking is a wide receiver 2 outside of Zay Flowers. Makai Lemon is good enough to come in and be wide receiver 1 eventually over Zay Flowers. So having a 1-2 punch will be big for them, and I think. Yeah, I agree. Makai Lemon here could definitely make sense. Uh, Tampa Bay Buccaneers pick 15. I think the thing that kind of killed them last year was their defense, and not being able to get to the quarterback. I think that was huge for them. Um, so I think Keldrick Falk is gonna slide in terms of where he's listed at for edge value. I don't think he's gonna be as productive as some of these guys that come up after him. Down here, kind of get overlooked. But I think Akeem Mesidor out of Florida would make perfect sense for them. Nitty gritty, going to get to the quarterback. He was he was opposite of Ruben Bain, so that definitely helped his production a little bit too. Having 2 top 15 players on that defensive line definitely helps. But yeah, give me a key must store for the Bucks. They need somebody that's going to go and get to the passer and help them bring that defense back to life. Like I miss watching that Bucks defense. It's been very depressing.
Yeah, it has come. I mean, it hasn't been half of what it was for a long, long time. It needs some help. So I got the Jacks next pick.
And
We
they
took
Reese.
April Reese. Oh goodness. Wide receivers. What's the next available wide receiver? Are we getting to?
Omar Cooper, Casey Concepcion.
Yeah. See, they won't draft anyone. That's way too high. Those guys honestly wouldn't shock me if they were second round picks. Or later. I would say at this point in time, and it's kind of a damn shame because Tennessee had a lot of injuries, and I think that defense could have been a lot better. But give me Gerard McCoy. Just rebuild that defense, come in and find a stud. You know, you lost Sauce Gardner, come in with another stud corner and Arvell Reese and have something that defense could be really, really, really special, especially with having a defensive mind like Aaron Glenn out there. Really draft the team that he wants. Offensively, you're going to get better. There's decent receivers in this draft. You could get someone in an early second round that could you pair with Garrett Wilson and Geno Smith and go from there.
Yeah, no, uh, yeah. Just focus on that defense. Your offense is a little broken. You can make up for that. You have the Jets. What have 4 picks in the first like 3 round, 2 round, 3 rounds, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
they everybody says focus on getting as many picks as you can in the top 100, right? Top 100, you're looking at going to be very stellar. I think they have 4 or 5 in the top 100. So Jets are in a very good
Yeah.
position to really build that team. You can still go and get wide receivers, still go and get, um,
Hmm.
you know, a quarterback. I think these some of these guys are going to slip at quarterback to be very pretty decent quarterbacks in the NFL, but because they either stayed an extra year in college and had a down year, dealt with an injury, like some of these guys, if they would have came last year, would have probably went first round. So
Yeah.
I don't think
It's a
that.
deep offensive line, defensive draft class.
Yeah,
Honestly, I see the Jets taking two defensive players. They have to replace Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams. Those are two people that were
yep,
cornerstones for that defense. Arvell Reese is it's someone you just can't pass up. I'm not saying he's Miles Garrett, but you're not if you could draft, say you needed a quarterback or you drafting Miles Garrett first overall, I'm drafting fucking Miles Garrett. Like he's an unstoppable force. He wins games. Like you got to kind of take the best talent sometimes.
yep. Detroit Lions. I think they're gonna go Caleb Lomu. They need they need edge help and they need offensive line help. That offensive line was not very good last year. You got some retirees going on. Um, Caleb Bloom is going to come in and be that opposite to Panay Sewell, and you got dogs back right there. Now you go in and rebuild that interior a little bit, and you can get a pass rusher in this draft. You are going to be set in terms of getting that team
Not
back and building that
not
offensive
finishing
line.
fourth in the NFC North,
Yeah,
first
yeah,
to last.
yeah. Which is crazy to think about with how dominant and good they had been.
Okay, Minnesota. Uh, we've taken Dylan Thiemann from Oregon many a times in mock drafts. Let's go somewhere else. Let's make it not spicy, I will say, but let's take someone different. Let's go on take Avion Terrell from Clemson. Go in there, get another dog. His brother's a dog in the NFL. He's a dog. He's really fucking fast. I think he ran like a 4.3. So we're talking about a cornerstone corner that we haven't had in years. The last good corner that I can think of us having was
He ran a 4.6 on his pro day.
Avion Terrell.
Yeah, it says pro day 4.64.
What the fuck?
Let me go. Let me just double check this. AV 40 time. See, it says that he has an estimated 40-yard dash time of 4.39. So I'm confused.
I don't think that's right. That dude's fast as shit. I'm telling you right now, he wouldn't be drafted in the first round if he
Yeah,
ran a 4.6.
I don't know. 4.39, 4.4 would probably make more sense. I don't know where, because he did the combine, but he
Five
didn't
foot
run.
11, 180 pound corner. Like he's a
Yeah, yeah,
decently big corner.
yeah. I
Mm.
No, I think that's good. Maybe a Terrell draft. Okay. No, I think the Vikings pretty much are going to take a defensive back. That's either going to be safety, replace Harrison Smith right away. In terms
Harrison
of
Smith might not be gone though,
yeah, but
because he hasn't officially retired. I mean,
but
you're gonna have to replace him at some point.
yeah, you go and get guys to replace. But no, I would agree. I think they're either going to take Thieneman or they're going to take Terrell. Like it's really comes down
Yeah,
to that two. And
unless
who's
a
the
Jeremiah Love good draft
yeah,
would
I
would
just
drop.
don't think that's going to happen. I think there's too
Someone will
many.
if he drops too far, someone will trade down for him though.
Probably. Probably. Panthers, you got your quarterback, made the playoffs. Their biggest question mark right now is just offensive line, so I think that's what they go after. They're gonna draft Spencer Fano out of Utah, so get the two Utah tackles pretty much going here, and it's going to be that'll give you some more consistency. You've had some injuries, you've had some question marks. You got to protect Bryce Young. Again, you need a wide receiver probably too with what's been going on. Get those later in the draft. You go and get a guy that's going to give you 4 to 5 years of protecting your franchise quarterback, and I think he's gonna do a very solid job for them in the NFL.
Cowboys took a defensive player with their first pick. I really, really, really selfishly, because I like watching the Cowboys. I usually have a lot of people on there.
So you went linebacker already with Sonny Styles.
Yeah. Sonny Styles, they need a corner. They need a safety, an edge, and a offensive tackle. But I'm just looking at it. And I always remember a dominant Cowboys offensive line that they haven't had for the last couple of years. It was better last year. They drafted what's-his-face last year, the guard.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But why don't we just make this fucking offensive line? I mean, you have some talent there, but god damn it. When you have a big dog like a Caden Proctor sitting there that's athletic and did so much shit at Alabama, it's hard to pass that up. So I'm going to take Caden Proctor.
Caden Proctor. Solid pick. I think right there, if Dylan Thieneman's going to fall to them at pick 20, they probably bite on that. They need the DB help.
They would. They probably would, but
I think if that realistically is still there, probably if anybody else maybe like he's gone and whatever else might still be there, I could probably see them taking a Caden Proctor. Fuck him. All right. Back and forth leaving Iowa. I'm not even an Iowa fan, but that was annoying as shit. But I mean, if he fell to the Eagles, I wouldn't be opposed to the Eagles taking him either. I think he's going to be a fine tackle in the league and super fucking athletic. And you can get a little tricky with him. He showed he can catch a ball and run for some yards.
Yeah.
Steelers, you need a quarterback. They're not drafting a quarterback in the first round. I think that can get out of people's heads. I would be shocked if the Steelers drafted a quarterback in the first round, even with Kirk Cousins going, because I know Kirk Cousins was in talks with them. I think Rodgers comes back for another year. You got your wide receivers. You got Aaron Rodgers. The one thing that Aaron Rodgers needs is some fucking protection and a more ability to be able to run that ball successfully. You're going to go get my favorite fucking guy in this draft, Elo Vega Ion. I fucking love watching him play. I know I can't say his name right, and I never will. But, dude, watching his film and tape at Penn State, interior line, so much fucking fun to watch. It was like one of my favorite. Out of all the offensive linemen to watch, he was my favorite. The dude's a fucking dog, and the dude's going to fucking be an animal. If the Steelers can use him right and fucking run the ball down people's throats, it's going to largely be because of this guy.
You know what? There's a guy once it was San Diego before the NFL got stupid and, changed everyone around and stuff like that. Before they were the LA Chargers, once they were the San Diego Chargers, which they should always be in everyone's heart. There's a guy. Harrison Smith was comped to him. I don't know if you remember his name, but his name was Eric Weddle, a perennial Pro Bowler, a hard-hitting safety, and someone that, besides Derwin James doesn't count. Don't even think about that. They really haven't had anyone in San Diego or LA that has been as dominant at the safety position. Let's take that Dylan Thieneman.
Marcus knew exactly what he was doing because he knew my ass was gonna put him on the Eagles in the next pick.
Yeah, I can't let that happen.
No, I don't hate it, and you get to play along Derwin James, learn from him. That's gonna be huge. I think Dylan Thieneman can go in the top 15. He's that good of
Oh
a
yeah,
safety. Um, it. I just think with how top heavy some of these
he'd be
positions
the
are,
best safety if it wasn't for Caleb Downs.
yeah, which it's hard to compete with Caleb Downs at being
Yeah,
the best of anything when he's there. Eagles, they need a lot. They need edge rusher. We need offensive line help in terms of uh, you know, uh, what do you call it? Lane Johnson not getting any older has been injured a lot. With all the tackles that are currently off, my next favorite tackle is Max Einocker out of Arizona State. I watched a lot of him due to the Big 12. Um, Depending on I don't think we draft a wide receiver, even if AJ Brown is gone. Whatever, if we trade him, whatever, because we haven't hit in the first round much. Devontae Smith, other than that, it hasn't been pretty.
hey, Devontae Smith is a hit though.
I know, but the other ones that didn't hit hurt harder, right? Like we could have had JJ,
Can we
could have
name
had
off a couple of
could have had DK Metcalf. Like
them?
things like that are what make me think that we won't go that route. I could see like an Omar Cooper being drafted here to replace him because
Gross.
relax. I don't think it's gonna happen. We could go edge. Keldrick Falk could be like the team that's like, all right, they're gonna keep letting him fall. Let's go get him. But I think we're gonna draft. The Eagles have always been, I think, the most important thing outside of, if you go a tier, it's always been offensive line, and then it's been defensive line. And I think we go that route with Einocker, draft him, learn from some of the best tackles in the fucking league, and potentially be Lane Johnson's replacement when he finally decides to hang it up after his injuries. And he's been in the league for 14 seasons now, so his body's been through a lot, and those injuries keep adding up.
So I'm gonna do the most Browns thing that I possibly can. I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of being in Cleveland, Ohio, and just not knowing what winning football is. And I just don't think they're sold on Shadur Sanders. With how everything went, people are like, oh, they picked the coach over that. Um, Kevin Stefanski, who I have a ton of respect for as a Minnesota Vikings fan, and did a ton for that organization,
Stefanski's not there
was
anymore.
no, I know, because
Oh,
they said that they left Stefanski for they picked Shadur over Stefanski. Bullshit. Shadur really had a weak rookie season, even though once he started there were some flashes. Um, I'm gonna say they're gonna take Ty Simpson in the first round.
oh,
And
Mr. JJ McCarthy only had 10 games to prove himself. You failed him, but then Shadur, a fifth round pick that showed flashes, is like, nah, we're gonna go take Ty Simpson.
here's the thing: I said it's the most Browns thing. I would keep Shadur because this would be the year to suck.
You
It really
also
would.
you also have Deshaun Watson, so I don't think there would be no point to draft Ty Simpson. But I guess you said a Browns thing; it could happen.
Hey,
I think this. I think
they're
out of this
taking Ty
mock. I
Simpson.
think out of this mock so far, I think that's the biggest miss, because there's no fucking way. No fucking way. I know the Browns are a terrible ass franchise quarterback or franchise organization, and especially a quarterback have their issues. But there's
I
no.
told you, I told you last year Jackson Dart would be the first round pick, and you're like, he won't,
Shouldn't have fucking been.
but he was.
Shouldn't
Someone's gonna
have.
do it, and you know what?
Maybe not. Okay, maybe
Cleveland,
maybe the Dolphins at 30, but not the fucking Browns at 24. The
they're
Dolphins,
doing it,
the
dude.
Dolphins truly need it. The Browns are like, all right, we paid all Deshaun Watson all that money because we really
See,
like
here's the
him.
thing:
So
the Dolphins, as a franchise, have won a Super Bowl. They're not a poverty franchise, just like the Cleveland Browns,
oh
who
yes.
live off of the fucking 50s and like we won NFL championships, just like the Cardinals say all the time. We won a championship. Well, no one fucking cares. It's about Super Bowls, so
Uh,
they're gonna
Bears.
keep Quinn Ewers.
Bear. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I like Quinn Ewers. Bears can go a couple routes. They really need defense, so I think they stick to the defensive pick here. I could see them drafting safety, as early as getting McNeil Warren, but I think in terms of best available, I think you take the best available, and it's going to be Keldrick Falk over Peter Woods. I mean, they're right there, but I think you take the best available off the board and get Keldrick Falk. I think Keldrick Falk at this point is being a little disrespected in terms of um, his edge rush ability, and he's kind of like more of a. He didn't have the sacks that other guys did in this draft, but he has that potential to just really flourish, I guess. Um, and he's only 20, so he's a younger guy. So you have that ability with him to really unlock that potential.
Scroll down.
What are you? Oh, sorry. What are you looking for?
I'm just looking at what else is available.
So Buffalo Bills.
I don't know why I'm so far behind. Nope. Scroll down for the players available.
I did.
Oh, sorry. I suppose C.J. Allen, linebacker.
Linebacker C.J. Allen. I don't hate it.
Again, they probably got the best receiver they've had in there since Stephon Diggs. Dalton Kincaid showed some flashes last year. Offensive line played well. Running back offense just seems great. James Cook is in his prime, running really well. Led the league in touchdowns again, didn't he?
Yes.
I think he led the league in rushing touchdowns 2 years in a row. So I think this team needs to focus on defense. Getting DJ Moore is a big deal. I could see them adding something else. I don't know what they're going to do with receiver. They still have Shakir.
Got Keon
But I would
Coleman,
like to
which
see him.
they might end up moving.
I could see him moving him.
I don't hate this. I think they go defensive, either if it's safety, if it's linebacker, edge, whatever. I think edge, you're kind of reaching for an edge at this point, but I think safety would work. You don't really need the tackles, so yeah, I could definitely see the linebacker here.
Because at this point in time, you're just getting towards people that are like second round picks. Always first round, end of the first round. I always think about a second round pick talent.
Yeah, no, I agree. 49ers. You. I know they signed Mike Evans. I know they got Ricky Pearsall. I know they. But it's literally IR squad, and they need somebody that's going to be reliable for them. So I think they go and get a wide receiver here. And I think they draft Omar Cooper Jr. I think he can be reliable, Mr. Reliable for him. He's not going to be anybody that's going to be super flashy, but he's going to come in and do his job. I think the injury risk of him is very low compared to like Mike Evans not getting any younger or what do you call it? Ricky Pearsall having his issues. So I think taking Omar Cooper here to give you a Mr. Reliable is probably the smartest thing for him. And he looked good. I mean, in terms of playing with Mendoza, I mean, Indiana did what they did last year, and he was a large part of that. So we can't discredit that he doesn't have the length of production, but you could say that about a quarterback that all of a sudden is a fucking first round number one overall pick that had one good season. So
doesn't always matter either.
Yeah.
There are players that don't do that great in college, aka Josh Jacobs, who wasn't really used that much in college and then comes in the NFL and is a stud. So
exactly.
It doesn't matter. It's about landing spot and what they do with them.
Yep. Texans.
Give give me Peter Woods,
Peter
Clemson.
Woods. Dude, that defense is going to be a fucking nightmare again.
They just don't care, man. Like that's all they care about. They don't care about the offensive line. They don't care about anything else. They're like, give us a good defense and we'll make the playoffs. And
That's
you know
so
what?
fucking
They were
true.
close to Super Bowl
Yeah,
contenders, to be honest.
and that was with a broken line, and they're gonna do it again. So the Chiefs, I took Kenyon Sadiq earlier. Here you could do a lot of different things. I think you go defense at this point, and you lost some. Um, what do you call it? You lost two DBs, and you need to replace them. And I think the best available uh, DB by a long shot is Brendan Sis from South Carolina. He's going to come in, and he will definitely be able to help replace um, McDuffie and who was the other one? Uh, Watson. Watson.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think Sissy at this position for the Chiefs makes sense, especially if you take a offense first pick. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked too if they go in here in this position, and if Mansour Delane is there, taking him at 9. But since he wasn't, you come back and you know that you could probably get a DB here at that pick 29.
I think everything that the Dolphins are going to do is going to be towards building up towards next year's draft. I think the Dolphins know that there's going to be a quarterback next year. They're going to see if Quinn Ewers has what it takes. I don't see them picking up someone of any significance in this draft. So I think they're going to try to build up that offense and defense to really be something special. Um, they went and took. Who they have? Jordan Tyson is who you had them take.
Yeah, Jordan Tyson.
Jordan Tyson. So I think they're going to add another stud offensive tackle, kind of help their offensive line that's always been a little bit weaker. Reason why Tua is always getting killed and having concussions. So I'm gonna have them take Blake Miller out of Clemson and kind of shore up that offensive line, do what they need to do, and then I think that they're gonna be could be he's up.
I already took him.
Oh, you did.
You said Blake Miller, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I clicked him. Nope.
They're gonna be probably on the one of the teams on the fast track to the beautiful uh, Manning sweepstakes next year. So Arch Manning sweepstakes.
Um, coming in, we have the Patriots. Um, they were middle, lower of the pack last year with pass rush, and I think that's kind of what you need to focus on. Um, getting getting to the quarterback is such a huge thing. I think you could take safety, get a DB, you could over. I, I wouldn't say it's an overdraft because I do think like some of these guys of where they're listed at, and some of these is not where they probably are respected to go.
Yeah,
Like Emmanuel Warren, I think goes well above a lot of these guys, but he's all the way down here, and um, I think Zion Young is going to be
he's
a sneaky
he's good as shit too.
first round pick out of Missouri. Uh, he is going to come in and be explosive. I wouldn't be shocked if I saw Zion Young go in the top 20. Like just a sneaky edge rusher. It really depends on what people wanna you know uh, push for. Do you think it's an overdraft if you really like him? Your next pick isn't going to be until he potentially is already gone. So you kind of take what you can get. But yeah, he is going to be very, very good. And like pass rush helps you win games. You need that. You need to get that quarterback struggling in the pocket. You need to get them uncomfortable. You need to be able to get that ball, force that ball to be out of their hands quicker. Don't allow those routes to develop. And Zion Young's going to come in and um, be that guy for the Patriots. And as long as they don't take a backseat to what they did last year, they could easily be in contention again for a Super Bowl with a lot of the same pieces they had and upgrading that defensive line, allowing guys like Christian Gonzalez to be even better in the secondary.
Give me Emmanuel Warren McNeil.
It's time.
This time. Dude is a stud. Really a stud. He's at a small school though, which does hurt every once in a while, but it's kind of been better now that they have all the whatchamacallits in college.
What are you talking about?
Where they pay them.
Oh,
Everyone
NIL.
goes somewhere else.
NIL, yeah.
NIL, yeah. But small school. Would you like to stop the pod and take a video separate of this, or would you like to continue going?
I don't really care. I was just gonna say with Emmanuel McNeil, I definitely could see this happening. He's long, and he moves like a lot of he moves like that what that secondary wants.
And they lost Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, so they need that. Again, this is one of those where this guy McNeil Warren might go up in the top 20 area or a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I think once you get past the top 10, it really is just kind of the Cowboys are like, all right, we're sitting here. Do we take? I could see the Cowboys and their 2 picks taking 2 edge rushers if they really wanted to. Shit like that. Just weird. People always think, oh, if you draft one thing, you can't do it again. Well, the Eagles did it with 2 DBs in the first 2 rounds, a couple years ago. And now that you've seen the success, you won a Super Bowl with it. Some teams might start doing a little bit more of that. Okay, the Browns I know the Browns took a wide receiver at 6, but who's to say they don't? Oh, Omar Cooper's there. We really like him. Let's get him now. There's so much shit that they could just go get in 2 positions.
The Browns are going to take Ty Simpson in the first round. Come on now.
No. All right. We could just add on to this because I don't know how else you'd want to do it. I'd have to restart a live, which wouldn't make any sense. But
no.
All right.
Well, because we should make it into a short, I guess, but it doesn't matter.
Well. Okay. Okay, I'll end this. And then I'll reset something.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for joining our mock. If you stayed this long, let us know how you feel about it. We're getting close to drafter season, so we're getting excited. Make sure you go like and subscribe, and I also will be doing better with shorts and reels and content and stuff. It's